Welcome to Business on the Vine. I'm your host, Lady Jen Du Plessis, and in this dynamic series, we dive into the challenges, breakthroughs, and victories of entrepreneurs who have turned their passion into success. Welcome. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. I am so delighted that you have taken time out of your busy day to join us. And today I have with me Julie Cotton. We met on the Marketers Cruise several years ago, kind of bouncing back and forth. It's been several years. And if you're listening to this and you're like, I've heard enough about this podcast cruise, because every time I say I met them on here, I met them on there, it could be the podcast. Oh, I'm sorry, the Marketers Cruise, the Podcasters Cruise, the San Juan Social Club Cruise. I mean, there are just a lot of cruises that are great opportunities for us to meet people, to be guests on our show or joint venture partners and whatnot. So as you're listening here, go to podcastersatsea.com, podcastersatsea.com, SEA, right? C.com. And there's while we are recording this in 2025, but there is a cruise every single year around November for that. And you can get yourself signed up for that. It's fantastic. And then the Marketers Cruise, marketerscruise.com, go there. And in both cases, when you scroll down and they say, who referred you, click on Lady Jen and I get more stage time. That's really all that I get. But I love it. I love doing that. I love bringing a little entourage. So Julie, we are just delighted to have you here today. I love that. Well, let me give you a little bit about her bio before we get started, just so that you have a little more detail about it. And I don't read the whole bio, Julie, so I'm going to let you say some things that you want to say as well. But I love all these terms that you use. She believes that you have permission to play, that you can improv your life. Instead of improve, you can improv your life. She's a play Imagineer, multidisciplinary integration specialist. Oh my goodness. And an edutainment infopreneur. I mean, these are all this is the creative part of what she does anyway. And she does all kinds of really cool things, with clients virtually or in person. What we're going to talk about today is really facilitating. And I know one of the things that you do is facilitate virtual CEO masterminds in play techniques. But we're going to just talk about masterminds. We're going to talk about how CEOs could have more fun, because we're all so serious about business all the time, right? CEOs, sales professionals, business owners, whatever we're doing, we're all so business oriented all the time, as I was on the green room with you.
And thank goodness for the series.
We have to dot our I's and cross our T's before we get into this. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how did this all happen, that you now have a business that is helping other businesses have fun?
Thank you, Lady Jen, for that introduction. And yes, I got into this because I had lots of friends who were in business, whether they worked for another corporation, owned their own corporation, and would meet me at a marketer's cruise or see me perform at a show. And they're like, oh my gosh, that looks like so much fun. I could never do that. And I was like, au contraire, you're doing this all day, every day. You just don't know you're doing it, right? So a lot of people are like, I could never do what you do. I can't think on my feet that fast, whatever. And I'm like, this is life. Improv is life. Like, we're living an unscripted life.
We're problem solving all day long and
all day long. Nobody got a script. Nobody got a script this morning.
That's right.
That's right. Have conversations with people all day, every day. And sometimes they're full of joy and life and creativity. And sometimes they may be more focused on structure and accomplishing a task. And I live in the world of yes, and this and that. Yes, we need the structure and the form in order to have the freedom to play. And so it's both. We need all of it.
I love that you absolutely say that, because when I think about, what I do for coaching, what I'm doing for coaching is, moving people from hustle to harmony. It's kind of like the structure. Well, it's hustle, the structure to the play, right? Yes. And having the freedom to do what you want, when you want, that kind of thing. So I love that you're talking in the same realm of what we're talking about here, is that life just can't be all business, all work, all the time. It's defeating.
Yes. And if that's what people are choosing to do with their life and experience, how can how can they do that and also have joy in it, right? That's
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
might help breathe. That you don't have to change what you're doing. Maybe it's changing how you're doing it or where you're coming from as you're doing it. Who are you
Mhm.
being while you play the game of business? Can
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, so let's just talk about the core of where this is, because again, as a business coach, I'm very much in line with disc profiling, personality profilings, whatever you want to call them. They're all different, and I that's just one phase of what I do in my practice. But so if I know that I'm not the personality that is bubbly and improvisational and this, that, and the other, kind of walk us through what you really mean here, because I'm thinking of Jim Carrey walking into an office and just being disruptive, creating chaos, like even from The Mask, right? It's like blah, he comes in and he just in it, and someone's going, wait a minute, how do you know when to play and how do you know when to be serious? And what do we mean by playing and being playful? Do I have to be a jokester? Do I have to learn jokes? Do I have, so give us a taste of how this looks in the business atmosphere, whether it's networking, whether it's a meeting online, or whether you're in person.
Great, thank you. I actually love the disc profile, and I use Enneagram and other personality
Yeah.
matrices and assessments to begin the conversation with business.
Yes. Oh,
One of
good.
the
Good.
principles of improv is the primary one is say yes, yes, and. So,
Hmm.
how can I accept the present moment and bring my unique genius to it?
Right.
Claire. And then the second principle of improv that I work with everyone is how do I make my scene partner look amazing? Well, the best way to do that is to know about your scene partner, care about them, and care about what they care about. And in order to do that, we have to know about where they are in the disc or where they are in the Enneagram, like what Myers-Briggs, whatever you want to use. I'll
Yeah.
use whatever assessment a company is
Yeah.
already familiar with so that we're
Right.
not recreating the wheel. It's like,
Yeah.
let's roll with it. Now that I know this about myself and I know this about you, now we can play our scene together because I know what you're great at and I know what I'm great at. And we don't have to try to be what the other is. We simply yes and it. And that's where we leverage our strengths together as a team, knowing that, okay, we have all the pieces we need to make this thing fly. So how do we play together?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So you're really talking about introducing that same kind of situation. I think you're more playful. I'm more serious about it, but you're probably more playful about it. But yeah, I call it, well, and I don't call it anything. It's called situational leadership. As you have to become a chameleon as you're working with other people to meet them where they are. And what I mean is, if you're a hyper I, or crazy fun personality, and someone is all, give me the facts, ma'am, then we
Yes.
have to know how to modify ourselves
Yes.
to speak their language to get the most out of them from a profitability standpoint.
100%. Yes. And so I literally just did an in-person training with a 7 group team, and I walked in ready to like, woo, I'm all in my eye, ready to edutain people and make
Right,
fun.
right.
And everybody's like still hasn't had their first cup of coffee, first meeting of the morning. And so I now this is a room also full of facilitators, CEO and like CFO. And so they saw me like this. I saw the reaction in the crowd. And then I sat down and grabbed my coffee and I shifted my tone. I shifted everything. And because they're facilitators, I asked them, what did I just do?
Mm-hmm.
I mirrored them and matched them, right? So it's like
Yeah,
as
yeah,
they were one of the things they hired me to come in and work with their team on, facilitators on, is how do we pivot? We have this agenda and we might not, the room doesn't always, we don't always get it all done. And how do we help us do that or help us pivot with that? And so every time I pivoted, I gave them all my sheet of the day, what I was training on concepts we had talked about one-on-one. I interview everybody one-on-one and find out what they want to get out of our time together. And then every time I pivoted, I told them what I was doing and why I was doing it. And they got to see, okay,
yeah,
shift, meet the room, meet the room, meet the room. And it
yeah.
was great.
Well, how do you share with us a little bit about how you do that, for a solopreneur, someone who is presenting, right? Presenting to a group of people that maybe they don't know. or maybe they do, it's their team, but they're presenting to them and you've got, you know, a bunch of D's and a few I's and a couple S's and a couple C's. How do you kind of, it's a rhythm, right? It's a dance. How do you go through that and ensure that everybody is accepting of what you're presenting and getting what you're presenting?
Sure. Okay. I love this question. So one of the services that I provide is this exact thing where if I'm working with someone on a talk or a presentation, we are structuring that talk to meet this exact thing. It's like, make sure you address your D's first because they have the shortest attention span.
Yeah.
That's that, like bullet point, tell them what you're going to tell them, right? And then
Right.
tell them, and then tell them what you told them, recap at the end, right?
Oh
And
my gosh, yes. Old sales school. Yeah.
yes, totally old school. But those are for the
Yeah.
D's, right? And then you have
Yeah.
to make it fun. You have to have something interactive and experiential for the I, or you're going to lose them like squirrel, right? And
Yeah.
then
They're going to be all in place.
you have
Yeah.
to have stories that are full of heart. That's for your S's,
S.
right? And then you've got to have details, data, all of the like percentages, the vital
Step by step for the
right?
C.
All
Yeah.
of it. And you have to have visual and you have to like deliver something in there. If I'm doing this virtually, I've got a slideshow and they've also got it in their email. They can look at it and follow along, right?
Mhm.
So everybody's kind of playing the game of listening
Yeah.
to the presentation the way
Yeah.
that they interface. And that's all part of it, right? And developing that as a skill so that it happens seamlessly. You're not thinking about it when you're
Don't even think about it. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is just how we present and the why do we do that? It's so to make our scene partners look amazing. It's to help
Yeah.
them follow along with what we're saying in the most comprehensive way. The other
Yeah.
option is to split them up. If you know who your D's
Oh,
or
yeah.
F's and
Yeah.
C's are,
Have
then you
breakout
go
sessions.
you deliver 4 different talks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go and deliver the 5-minute talk to your D's, and then you go over
Right.
here and have a
Right. You
party.
do a stand-up meeting over here.
Yeah,
Right. You
exactly.
go, yeah. For the D's, it's like you may not have a meeting. Like everybody hop on a quick
Ever got the
call.
bullet point text? You got it? Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love this. Well, where did you learn all of that? Where did you learn this? Because I mean, I learned it in corporate America as an executive, right? We learned management and leadership skills, and that's exactly what I teach and what I coach on is, you know, these skills. So for me, it's super easy. Where did you learn it?
So I
And
first
I'm sure
learned
it's
it
easy.
in what's that?
I said, I'm sure it's easy for you too.
I first learned it in after grad school. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
observed people, but I didn't know what was going on. I am a bit of a chameleon because I've always been an actor and like feeling like I needed to read the
Yeah.
room all the time. Like in my home
Yeah.
of origin, I learned that. Like I'm like, ooh, something's going on with mom and dad. I better
Yeah.
pivot here, you know, like so I think some of it is just natural. And then I learned what I was doing when I went to transformational leadership training. Uh,
Yes.
it was a company called Gratitude Training, and their father or
Mhm.
grandfather was like LifeSpring or Landmark Forum, right? Some of
Yes. Yep. Yep. All that. Or, you know, Sandler selling system. It's all part of it too, because they have a lot of leadership too. Yeah.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
learned it. It wasn't called DISC. It was called the Personality Matrix, but same
Mhm.
thing, same
Yep.
thing. And yeah, so then I became a trainer with them, and I would train. This was in our part 3 that we learned the masterful living is where we learned about the personality matrix, and it just made so much
Yeah.
sense. It was like, oh, and my
Yeah.
goal, I wanted to be able to be in the middle, right? That was my goal is like how
Yeah. Yeah. But you aren't. You don't get that choice.
yes, well, I can develop. This is where we
Right.
practice speaking into the listening of our partner or
Right.
showing up, matching our partner. If
Yeah.
I'm aware, I can at least shift, right?
Yes. Yeah.
As an actor, I'm constantly putting on different hats and playing different parts. And so we might not innately be another part of the disc profile or a
Oh,
person.
but we all have segments. Yeah, we all have little segments of it at least that we can do. And you know, the one who's perfect for that is an S, right? The steady as she goes people, because they're people pleasers, right? They want everyone to be pleased. So they are great at leading because they can be a D, they can be an I, they can be a C. They're one of the best people. The D's are just steamrollers, you know.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
and I was one. I'm not as much anymore,
Yeah.
but I have segments that I pop into, but mostly a C.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
big time C.
I can be, I have elements, I would say parts of my life that I have
Yeah.
been a CFO and been very in the sheets, buried in the sheets. And I have been I've been the performer in the front of the crowd, and I'm a CEO
Yeah.
of my own company, right? So,
Right.
supporter, I have been someone who comes alongside other organizations and supports
Right.
their vision happening. So I have
Right.
ridden the wave of a lot of those different aspects. Now, some improv has a unique, it's actually more of a triangle, kind of like the Enneagram. And their three archetypes are the pirate, the robot, and the ninja.
Oh,
So
okay.
a
Gotcha.
pirate is the, ha, I have an idea for,
Okay. Gotcha.
right? That could be a combo of your D and your I because it's a vision.
Okay. They're extroverts. Yeah.
Big, bold, yes, let me make a decision. And they're the first to jump on the scene, right? And then you have your robot, which would be your C. That's
Yeah.
like what are the rules? There's a
Yeah.
system of improv. There
I
is,
cannot compute. I cannot compute.
well,
Yeah.
there's structure to improv. So if we're going to play an improv scene right now, let's say we're going to play the question game where everything we say is going to be in the form of a question. There's a structure to that. You can't take too long. There's no repeating. I can't repeat what you say. You can't repeat what I say. I can't repeat what I say. And then if we can't be non sequitur, we can't just go off on a tangent that's not related to the conversation we're having. We have to keep it on task, right? So the robot would know the rules and would basically be there with the buzzer to buzz us out if we were to trip up, right?
You
So,
rule breaker. Yeah, I know. I totally get it. I totally get it.
and
Because
then
I am definitely not a rule breaker. Like I follow the rules.
right,
It's the weirdest thing. I'm the string to my own helium balloon, which is the I.
ooh, that's fun. I
Yeah, so
love.
I am just the weirdest character because I can be so fun and bubbly, and then I'm just very serious.
Well, you're
And
very
so
creative too.
it's weird. Yeah, it's a weird thing.
You love
I,
to dance, and dancing is a very I thing.
oh yeah, I love to dance, but I'm also an expert markswoman, which
Ooh.
is a C.
Marks with what device? An arrow?
No,
Or
with weapons. Yeah,
weapons. Oh,
I
cool.
shoot guns, a ton of guns. So
Love
I'm
that.
very much the C. I'm very calculated.
Yes.
Wind direction, right? All those things. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I go, okay, so let's go dance.
Yes, yes. Well, I teach yoga and I've been a massage therapist for years.
Yeah,
So I accompany corporate wellness is also a part of what I do. And
right,
and teaching people to move their body in an aligned way so it's structural alignment of the yoga practice for the
right.
strength, but then also I can dance as well, and it's more interpretive dance or ecstatic dance where there isn't choreography. I'm just in the improv
In the
flow.
flow of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's so funny. So if for business owners, as they're stepping, let's say someone's just stepping into business. Let's say someone's been in business for a while and they've heard about disc and they're going, oh, I heard about that stuff. It's like crazy, crazy, crazy. Why does someone want to do this? Why do they need to do this in order to move their business forward?
Well, I think knowing a thing like in concept and doing a thing are two different things,
Right. You can read a book,
You,
right?
you can read
But
about
you
riding a
can't do
bike.
surgery.
You can
Yeah.
watch other people ride a bike, but have you
Right.
gotten on a bike and ride it? It's like it's an experiential thing. And that's the
Yeah.
thing with improv is it's experienced.
Hmm.
You can watch other people do improv and yet similar to where I started, it was like, oh, I could never do that, Julie. Yes, you can, and you do. And so I come alongside and will orchestrate scenarios, games, exercises that we are trying on, like a jacket or a costume, embodying these concepts that we might
Right.
know, and
Right.
yet we don't necessarily live or apply. And it's almost like sometimes it might be like a choose your own ending where it's like freeze, okay, new choice, try again, right? Like
Right.
rewind back to the top, take it again. This time do it like a D. Okay, this time do it like an I, and so it gives
Yeah.
people a chance to okay, how would this person respond? And then say it, do the thing. Don't just talk about it, do it. So it's an
Yeah,
experience.
I love that. I love that you're acting it out. I've done some improv training and stuff because I wanted to be a little more improvisational on, and more not flamboyant, but on stage. I don't know how to say
Sure.
this word. It's
Yes.
not improv, it's not improv, it's just more oh my gosh, I have the word right on the end of my
Yeah.
tongue.
Open, uninhibited. Uh,
Uninhibited, open, colorful, right?
Yeah.
More colorful, that kind of thing.
Demonstrative, yes.
Yeah, and I felt like that was something that was totally needed. And it helped me, even to in my dance, like you were saying, and I hope everybody's enjoying this because we're kind of just talking in circles. This is crazy. I don't normally do this much circle talking. But you were, if you're not watching what Julie just did when she did improv, right? Look at how big your arms are, right? So for me, it's still the shoulder, the elbows are still here. They're still, and it helped me to be more graceful with dancing because I just wouldn't, I said, my neck is back. And they go, no, your neck isn't back. And I go, yes, it is. It's back. And it helped me to just be more loose and, enjoy the music a little bit more. And I think that that's so important in business. If we can just, like I said, it's a rhythm, right? It's like a rhythm that's going on. Is it so much better than having that rigidness and that confrontation between a team leader and a team member or team members or whatever the case may be? It makes you so much better at leading. And I love that.
I
Yeah.
I got one thing I love about improv. I look at improv as like is developing a culture of yes and within a company.
Right, right.
How do we, and I can go anywhere in the world and play improv with a troupe, a professional troupe, because I understand and I live from the principles of improv. So without
Right.
hardly any rehearsal, if I were to, send a message, hey, I'm coming to Detroit for the night. I'd love to play with you guys. Let me know if you have an open jam session, whatever. As long as they tell me the name of the game and what the rules are, I can play it, right?
Yeah.
And so the reason I can do that is because I trust the principles and I live by them. And so what we're really creating with teams of people is the willingness to be vulnerable and trust.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And trust. And so when I know that you've got my back and I've got yours, when I know that it's my job is to make my scene partner look amazing and that's their job too, I can let down the guard that what I experienced. This is kind of like that guardedness. I heard something the other day that was like the most magnetic person in the room is the one with nothing to hide.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when we can be completely transparent and fully who we are, knowing that we're accepted and we're going to be, that's the yes and is 100% acceptance. And I'm going to bring my genius. And this is a space where your genius is welcome. This is a space where we can collaborate and co-create together. I make you look amazing. You make me look amazing. You got my back. I got your back. This is not a one woman or one man show, right? For a team of 7, I do 1/7 of the work and I trust that you're going to do yours.
Right. Right.
The goal is to have a great show together and have fun. Follow the fun in it, right? And I can do that when I'm willing to let my hair down and let it be fun and expansive and joyous and it's all welcome here. Now, I might choose to play a very contained character, and that might be some fun for me. That might be my fun is to explore.
Right.
And it could be fun for me to be very organized and like let's get to the facts, right? Like all of that, and then I could just be like, I just want to play, right? Whatever it is. So we're only limited by our own constructs of how we think the game of business should be played.
Yeah.
And
What does this do for the results in business? So I just went in to see, but and it's okay. But what does it do for the results? Because everyone's, someone's listening to this or watching and saying, okay, I get it. I should go and learn more about personalities, get a better rhythm. So it sounds great. In the office, we're not all fighting. It's not like a whole bunch of, third graders playing in a band. It's a symphony, right? It sounds wonderful. But what will this do to my results? What will this do to my profit or my revenue? How does this impact that?
Yeah, great question. I think it varies per company depending on how they play the game, right? How they set up their metrics. What are they measuring, right? So if you're going to measure turnover, right, and people are coming to work and
Right.
feel seen and valued and heard and like it's safe to be vulnerable and fully express who they are, and they're not tense at work, they're more of who they can relax, and that relaxed state brings higher quality
Productivity.
of turnout. Yeah, what I
Right.
produce is greater because I'm not under stress of looking over my shoulder constantly. Is my boss going to fire me? Whatever. And
Yeah, yeah.
I feel valued, so I don't want to leave. I bring more of who I am to every day so that I'm contributing. I'm bringing that
Mhm.
1/7 to the team, that culture of yes and, right? So the turnover goes down, and then just the overall work experience is enhanced. People are looking forward to being at work more. It feels more like a family, whatever that means to you. Hopefully, a family that's welcoming, not a family that was
Right,
just
right, 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 right. Yeah.
the kind of family
Yeah.
you want to go to.
I think it's pretty interesting because I think it's interesting as you were talking about this. I was talking about my daughter too, because you mentioned in the work is the boss looking over my shoulder or whatever. I'll call my daughter, and I've done this thousands of times, right? I'll call my daughter and I'll say, "Hey, can you go to lunch, on Saturday? Can you go to lunch with me, or can I meet you for breakfast?" Her immediate response every single time is, "Am I in trouble? Am I in trouble? Am I in trouble?" Right. And I'm thinking, well, how could I change this as a leader in my relationship with my daughter? Right. So this isn't just in work.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And
100%.
why does she think that that's the case? And she'll always say, I'm more afraid of my mom than my dad, even though my dad is Italian and he'll flip out. And I'm more even keel. I rarely lose. I'm just kind of even keel. And I really, really lose my temper. It's like a 3-year thing. It's like a 3-year tick, tick, tick on a roller coaster, right? At 3 years, I'll lose it, right? And so I'm pretty even keel. But the fact that she does that, I'm thinking, so, what am I doing or not doing that is making her feel this way? Because she's just got it ingrained in her mind that, all I need to do is look at her crooked and all heck's going to fall apart.
That's interesting.
So I want to make sure that, and I wanted to share that because I want to make sure that everybody understands that this isn't just in business, it's in life as well. And I'll solve my problem. Thank you very much, everybody. But you want to think about, how does that affect my personal relationships as well?
Well,
Yeah.
it would be interesting to your point, like come if you were to bring your daughter to an improv class, right? And this is something that I'll do with
Oh,
like
that's okay.
C-suite executives, right? Or I might have work with their sales team, their operations, and their
Executives
marketing or like
or tech or something. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
their operations, production, and delivery or whatever, wherever they are. They have me in 3 different arms of the business, and we
Yeah.
might be working on a show together. Let's say they're all gonna that we rehearse maybe once a week or something, and then quarterly we would do a show, and we would showcase operations versus production versus sales and see which team does the best show, which one works the most cohesively together, right? And some people were like, I see the CEO, what in their eyes maybe humble themselves and come and play and be just as vulnerable in improv because they might be a beginner over here where they're the CEO over there, right? And we make assumptions about people because of their status, because of their role.
Title. Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes. And yet they're a human being with human vulnerabilities just like us. And so when we get up and play pretend and make believe scenes together, we level the playing field. And now it's like, well, I couldn't answer that question like honestly, because what's my boss going to think about me, right? They might fire me. I'm
Right.
like,
Right. Right.
they're not
Right.
hiring
Right.
you to be a pro in this human event. They're hiring you to be a pro in QuickBooks, right? Like that's not what they're hiring you for, right?
Right.
How do
Completely different.
be humans together and level the playing field, right? So when you come and you do a thing where you're both beginners, you and daughter, right? It doesn't have to be, this could be the family CEO, right?
Mhm. Right. 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 Right.
The title is mom, right?
Right.
Come and do a thing where you're both at the same starting point.
Yeah.
And and then you get to see, and she may grow faster than you do, right? And now the status has shifted. That's actually one of the things we work on in improv is status shifting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the low man, it's a race to the bottom in improv. The low man wins the affection of the audience. If I can get egg on my face in a show,
Right.
the
Right.
audience is going to laugh, right? So I want
Right.
right?
Because they never like the wicked person, the mean person, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one with high status. And then we want to see the low man rise and the high status person fall. And that is a satisfying scene. We're like, yes.
Yeah. And I bet someone heard that and they're like, well, I'm not going to do that. I mean, because some people, again, this is where you have to open up and be vulnerable and authentic, in order to grow. And I think that that's critical. And I didn't think that. I'm just letting you know, I'm speaking for a lot of our listeners. I tend to do this. I tend to speak for a lot of the people that are listening. I'm going, okay, so what are they thinking, and who would fight me on pulling this together? I've got a client who is a CEO and go, I don't know if I would do that because, they need to see me up here. And, there's some of that, but I love what you're doing. I love that you're helping businesses grow. I love that you're helping people grow and have a good time and play and have fun. So in the time that we have left together, share with us a little bit about how someone could get in touch with you and start working with you.
Yes. Well, you have a link I've given.
I do.
Book a 30-minute consult with me, or just to let's talk about what's going on in your business, or what are you hoping to accomplish. People can bring me in just to be the entertainment if they just want to bring improv in, maybe for a holiday, their holiday party, annual party or something. Or you can bring me in and do a one-off facilitation, just kind of bringing the improv concept to your company and see how it goes. And then some people engage with me more long-term, maybe throughout the year, they might work on developing that culture of yes and. So lots of options depending on what your goals are. And Lady Jen has the way to get in touch with me.
Yeah, I love that. And a lot of virtual stuff can be done now too. 100%. So you could bring someone in and have them do some really fun stuff. I love it. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Julie, for joining us. I love what you're doing. I can't wait to engage with you. We're going to work together in some way, shape, or form, not to solve my daughter and I problem, but maybe somebody else's. Maybe somebody else's problem. I don't mind doing it. It's just I probably can solve that. I just don't understand her. She's more tense than I am. Intense. Let me say she's more intense than I am in business. Yeah. I love it. Well, again, I want to say thank you so much, Julie, for being such a wonderful guest, sharing all kinds of fun things so that we can play. And it's leaving me on a nice little high, which I love. Hopefully that's doing that for you as you're listening or watching in here as well. And just a reminder, head on over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. And there you will find all the podcasts, all kinds of speaking things, and all kinds of great, wonderful content. And, again, if you want to have a conversation with me about how you can move from hustle to harmony in your business and get out of that hustle and stop working all by yourself and move yourself into a position where you can enjoy life, please be sure to connect with me on the links below and we'll have a great conversation as well. So thank you again for joining us, Julie. Appreciate it very much. And thank you for joining us today. We will catch you on the next episode. Thank you for joining us on Business on the Vine. If you found value in today's conversation and would like additional support, go to supportfromjen.com. Remember, the best ideas are always discovered on the Vine, so keep innovating, stay inspired, and continue to grow.